Granny squares, hats, and other projects often begin by working from the center out in the round. There are two main ways to begin. One is with a circle made from chains, and the other is a magic ring. In this video, I'll show you the chain method. So the first thing you'll do is start with a slip knot. Put the slip knot on your hook, and then you're going to chain 4. Sometimes a pattern will have you chain 3, but usually it's 4. Then you're going to work into the first chain that you made with a slip stitch. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. And what's created is this little ring made of chains. And from this point, you can begin to add stitches to the chain, usually with double crochets, but sometimes it'll be single crochets, half doubles, doubles, and so on. That part depends on the pattern. But this would be your ring. This would be your starting point for working in the round. The pattern will tell me how many stitches to work into the ring to create my first round. Usually a pattern will have you start with 1 or 2 chains, depending on the height of the stitch. In this case, I'm going to pretend that I'm working the beginning of a granny square, in which case I need 3 double crochet and then a chain, and I'll do that for each of the 4 sides of the square. Now my chains here count as my first double crochet. So I'll yarn over, work into the center of that ring and draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to do that one more time. So I create another double crochet, and you can see I have a little cluster here of 3. I've got chains and 2 double crochet. Now some granny square patterns will have you chain 1, some will have you chain 2 in the corners. I'm just going to chain 1 for now, and then I'm going to repeat this cluster. So I yarn over, insert the hook through the hole from front to back, draw up a loop, and complete the double crochet. Yarn over, go through the center of the hole, and draw up a loop, and complete the double crochet. So I'm going to do that a 3rd time. That's my second cluster. You can see them separated by this chain here. I'll chain 1, and I'm going to do 2 more clusters just like that. So I've got 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. I'll chain 1, and then I'm going to work 1 last cluster here. I'll chain 1, and then to complete this round, I need to slip stitch to connect where I started. So it's a good idea to put a marker into the top of that chain, especially if you have trouble visualizing. You can work the chain, put your marker in, and then you know when you get to the marker, that's where you're going to do your slip stitch. So I've put my hook through the top of the chain. I'm going to draw through a loop and draw through the loop I started that stitch with. So now I have my first round done. And as I kind of wiggle my fingers in, you can see I have the spaces made from the chains and 3 and 4 sets of double crochet clusters. So this is the beginnings of a granny square. Note though that there's a pretty large hole in the center. The more stitches that you put into your center ring, the larger the hole will be. If you don't want to see a hole, then a magic ring is going to be a better option. Watch the next video to see how to perform a magic ring when you start projects from the center out. worked in the round.